The Philadelphia 76ers have a long history of rookie season injuries, and the plight continues to spread as their first round pick, Zhaire Smith, is out because of sesame seeds?
With the 6th pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Nerlens Noel from the University of Kentucky.
Nerlens Noel, drafted 6th overall by the New Orleans Hornets, was coming fresh off an ACL tear from college. He was quickly traded to the 76ers along with the 2014 first-round pick in exchange for Drew Holiday and the rights to Pierre Jackson. Nerlens Noel looked to be a promising prospect as in his only year of college experience, he posted up 10.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2.1 steals, 4.4 blocks, and shot 59% from the field in 31.9 minutes per game. Along with his box score, he put up an 82.3 defensive rating, which is ridiculously good, a 27.3 PER, and an 11.7 defensive box plus minus. So, it goes without a doubt that this was the right prospect for the Sixers to choose, even with his ACL injury. As expected, Noel spent the entire 2013-2014 NBA season rehabbing his knee. In his return to the rotation, he put up an okay box score with 9.9 points, 8.1 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.8 steals, and 1.9 blocks per game while shooting 46% from the field. However, his 96 offensive rating and negative 3.7 offensive box score plus minus didn't make up for this. His knee clearly affected his play as even his defensive skills plummeted. His next season was less than stellar as well as he was traded in the 2016-2017 season. Let's go back to the end of the 2013-2014 NBA season where,
with the 3rd pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Joel Embiid from Yaoundé, Cameroon, and the University of Kansas.
Despite only being ranked 16th, averaging 11.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.9 steals, and 2.6 blocks per game with a 62.6 field goal percentage, the 76ers saw his ceiling and snagged him with the 3rd pick. Once again, the team had another player who sat out their first year with injury as he suffered a stress fracture in his foot. Embiid would play the beginning of the following season, but once again was injured on the same foot, causing him to only play 31 games despite his outstanding play on the court. Again, let's go back, this time to the end of the 2014-2015 season where Noel looked to still have outstanding potential.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Jahlil Okafor from Duke University.
The Philadelphia 76ers held the 3rd pick in the draft after going 18-64, and the consensus pick for them was going to be Jahlil Okafor, who averaged 17.3 points, 8.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.8 steals, 1.4 blocks, and shot 66.4% from the field. He also put up a 119.9 offensive rating, 95.4 defensive rating, 10.9 box plus minus, and a 30.7 PER. Obviously outstanding numbers, but what made this an even better pick was that he was basically the opposite big man of Nerlens Noel. While Noel would have locked down the defensive end of the floor, Jahlil would have been able to score at a high rate, and their weaknesses would have cancelled out. However, he played just 53 games due to off-the-court issues and a season-ending meniscus injury. Despite this, he put up some solid numbers of 17.5 points, 7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 0.4 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game while shooting 50.8% from the field. The future looked bright for the Sixers despite injuries, and their front court was sure to work out in the future. However, the next season was more of the same as Joel Embiid, who at this point was overshadowed by Okafor and Noel, sat out most of the season, and Jahlil's game was again plagued by more injuries and was traded in the 2017 offseason.
With the 1st pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons from Melbourne, Australia, and Louisiana State University.
In this season, Nerlens Noel and Jahlil Okafor were still on the team, but hadn't made any improvements. However, the new rookie, Ben Simmons, was here. The forward averaged 19.2 points, 11.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 2 steals, and 0.8 blocks per game while shooting 56% from the field, along with a 117.2 offensive rating, 98.4 defensive rating, 29 PER, and 11.7 box plus minus. This hopeful end of the dark ages for the Sixers didn't come to an end though, as Simmons was quickly diagnosed with the Jonas fracture in his right foot after landing on the foot of another player. This was the same injury that Embiid had, and things were not looking good, as even though Joel was making his case for the best player on this team, he, as mentioned earlier, was sidelined 52 games. The team ended up going 28-54 in the 2016-2017 season and held the 3rd pick in the 2017 NBA Draft where,
with the 1st pick In the 2017 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Markelle Fultz from the University of Washington.
They scooped up Markelle Fultz with the first pick in the 2017 NBA Draft. Again, this was supposed to be the end of the process, and it was, record-wise, as the team went 52-30 while Joel Embiid solidified himself as a borderline superstar in the league. However, Markelle Fultz, who was supposed to be the final piece to the long-awaited process, played only 14 games in the season while battling a shoulder injury, which it of itself had stirred up a ton of controversy in the media. He's going to be the number one pick no matter who he went to, as he put up 23.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game, shooting 47.6% from the field, with a 28 PER and 9.1 blocks plus minus, in his only season playing for Washington in the Pac-12 Conference. Being known as a spectacular shooter, the shoulder injury had hurt him and his shot because he completely changed his shooting form over and over again. It was this season where,
with the 16th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Zaire Smith from Texas Tech University.
the 76ers trade for Zaire Smith, who looked as if he could at least be a good role player in the league. Standing at only 6'5" and playing power forward in college, there was some improvements to be made with the transition to the NBA, transferring to the shooting guard position. However, sources say he was fully committed to the transition. In his only season playing for Texas Tech, the slasher put up 11.3 points, 5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.1 blocks while shooting 55.6% from the field, with a 23 PER, 12 blocks plus minus, 128.7 offensive rating, 95.1 defensive rating, and only an 18.3 usage percentage. But it was his freakish athleticism and 41.5 max vert that made him tempting. This all came to an end though as Smith fractured his foot on August 6th while participating in Tim Grich's development camp in Las Vegas. It is getting pretty sus how many foot injuries the Sixers have had, but what is even more sus is that Zaire Smith is now possibly been ruled out to this season because of a sesame seed allergy. Some sources exclaimed it was complications with surgery, but most exclaimed that he had digestive food that had contained sesame seeds. His allergy to peanuts was known to the team staff, but apparently sesame seeds were not. It is still unknown if Smith knew of his allergy, but in any case, he has already lost 20 pounds, and for a 199-pound guy, that's not exactly promising. The obvious reason for most of the Philadelphia 76ers injuries is that the management likes to choose players with high ceilings to manage the injury, because with some of the draftees, their injuries had already been known. However, a lot of these are just dumb luck for the players and the franchise. There are rumors going around that the 76ers sidelined the players on purpose to get better draft picks, but this is a pretty far out philosophical view. So that is it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Do you think the 76ers are cursed? I mean, the past 6 years, their rookies have been like injured and shit, so it's pretty weird. They've all come back, which is nice, except for Markelle Fultz, which we have yet to see. But I don't know if there's some sus stuff going on in the background, especially with this allergies thing. But definitely let me know your opinions down in the comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you buddies in the next one.